we're going to talk about the best of the 90s, and because I just had one of your packets of Gushers, I'm going to go right now, off the cuff, top snacks of the 90s, go. Top 3.
Well, Gushers is number 1.
Okay.
Followed by Fruit by the Foot.
Oh, there's one I didn't think of.
And Dunkaroos.
Dunkaroos is on my list, too. You know what I really like? Tato skins.
Oh,
You remember those things? They came out, maybe even...
Oh, hey!
I just had one,
Go,
though.
Phil.
They came out, I believe, in the 90s, so that's my number 1, because I'm definitely a savory over sweet guy. But Dunkaroos is on my list as number 2. But also, like, were the 3D Doritos, was that a thing in the 90s?
That was a thing. Oh, it might have been early 2000s, but it feels 90s.
Feels 90s.
What about Cream Savers?
Cream Savers were good. They came back for a bit.
They did,
Those
yes.
were good. And then, like, Orbits, Kool-Aid Bursts, and then, like, Ecto Cooler.
Squeeze-Its.
Oh, I forgot about Squeeze-Its.
Squeeze-Its.
Where's that list of stuff that we had our 90s party?
Oh, that thing was a terrible idea. I was sick for days.
Little new Coke.
Days I was sick for.
That was that.
There used to be a thing. It was a gummy thing where they have these designs all day, and you'd pull it, and it'd be kind of like a Fruit by the Foot thing, but it was off of this little piece of paper, and you pull these designs off, and the flavor was unmatched. But
I know. I vaguely remember.
I can't remember but they were the weirdest packaging.
Do you remember the oatmeal that had like the hidden things in them that you would put the water in, and then like the candy would?
Dino Eggs is way like
yes,
you can.
That's it.
I had Undercover Bears, which apparently was only around for like a year, but they were these cinnamon gummy bears, and they were I was obsessed with them as a kid. Obsessed.
We were in the prime of putting sugar into everything. Everything. Like oatmeal needed like 30 grams of sugar because the water had to activate the bears. Like
obviously,
that's what the Quaker guy aspired to in the future.
Harvey Kellogg must be spinning in his grave about look at all the stuff we're just
and we turned out fine. Look at us.
I'm not gonna go next on Ugly Thirds.
Look, we did
no.
Welcome back to another episode of Ugly Thirds. Today's topic is the best of the 90s, which you wrote wore 3 jerseys. I wonder if that means the other one, the first one, is the best. There you go, top 3. There we go.
I'm not doing the intro again. That was
you gotta take away. And second of all, String Thing, that's what they were called.
Things.
String Things. Butterfinger 3D.
The
BBs.
The BBs.
I love those things.
We have Cheese Balls. That was a big thing in the 90s.
Yeah.
True Lunchables. The Minute Maid Triangle Push Pops.
Oh, those were good.
Those were good.
I had those at the end of lunch every day.
Dorito 3Ds is listed here as 90s.
Those were excellent. When they came back for a brief while, they were the perfect snack.
Trix Yogurt.
Yeah.
Something with Shark Bites, but...
Oh, Shark Bites are good.
Yeah.
Oh, those are gummy snacks.
You remember...
And Warheads. Warheads was a thing. It's still around, but like...
You remember the Orbit drink, like...
I never had
the
one.
little, like, plastic floating around. Like, how much plastic have we eaten in our lives? And we're fine, I think.
One generation's asbestos is another generation's microplastic.
This list is so...
Garbage.
This list is so controversial.
That's how controversial it is. Phil is throwing things back there.
I'm being attacked by books.
You okay?
I don't like reading books. They're
This
attacking me.
No, they're attacking you.
It's so controversial.
We came up with... Okay. List your top 5 and we'll compare. We had one jersey in common, and it was my least favorite of them.
Okay.
And then we told Phil, you pick out of those 10. And I think it's god-awful what he picked. I hate whatever. When the hate mail comes in... I'm leaving it for Shrems to answer the comments because I'm going to be the innocent one. I would put this at number 1. This was my number 1.
Okay, so remember, top 3, not top.
So the premise here is that they debuted.
They had to have debuted in the 90s. Okay. Number 3, and the only one we agreed on, and I hate that I even agreed on it. The Screaming Eagle.
Now,
Phil, do you want to hop on NHL uniforms and see how quickly you can put together things?
In the context of the 90s. This was exactly what the 90s was.
The audiophiles are going to hate this episode.
Yeah.
95 through 2000.
Wow. Good for them.
Really? The blue one went that long?
Yep.
Stuck around pretty
And the
long.
white one lasted longer.
Yes. I knew that.
In 95, 97, and they introduced the black with the capital in 97. And then, until 2000.
It was such a hard turn from the red and the white.
Mm-hmm.
But now we have blue. Not the blue we associate with the United States. But...
Well, the thought was, how do we modernize? Just because they're in the U.S. Capitol, do they have to be patriotic? There's so many red, white, and blue teams. The Washington Redskins were not. Commanders still are not.
Mm-hmm.
So, tying the town to the team that way, did you really need that? And so they were looking for something of how can we be important looking and majestic without being... without needing to go patriotic. And I think they nailed the colors. I have always liked these colors. And I think this is actually, I really do love that Capitol building jersey. I really genuinely do. This blue looks great even in hindsight.
It does. It was not it's such a nice contrast from what they were. But to what you were saying, this could have been cartoony because we're looking at the same time frame as the Wild Wing. Like, what a joke.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Pooh Bear. Pooh Bear's a bit cartoony. Like, this is what you needed to be for the Washington Capitals.
Honestly, I think Pooh Bear is too realistic. This is still the era of angry mascots, angry animal mascots, and this does very much embody the 90s of that.
But it withstands the test of time, because when this thing came back for reverse retro...
No, I think it's pure nostalgia. I don't think this stands the test of time.
You don't think so?
No, I mean, first off, look how many bumper stickers.
No, I'm talking about the eagle itself.
But, like, these, like, which is this one wing? Is this the other? Like, there is a lot of abstraction. How, like, the actual, how would this work in 3 dimensions? Like, if this was an actual living thing, how on earth does that work?
What was your number 3? Let's do that. Pull up your list.
What bothers me about this one is because it's one leg.
Right?
Like, if you had that second leg, I think that answers your question of which is the wing. Like, if you had another leg somewhere, it would show that.
Because they don't have any of these on hand.
What, reverse retro?
No. When the Blues figured out that
this is where he pulls,
I don't have that version here. This is where the whole thing
collapses because he's just pulling down on it.
But
this was your 3?
The 90s version, the white one came out as a third jersey. They switched it as full time.
Not the note one.
Not
right?
that one. No, that's a clown suit. This they put together, and this was my number 3.
My Kachina was number 3, and you called it stupid.
I have come to I think this is one of those, like, everyone loves it so much, so I hate it. A concept I know you know well. Ask him about Star Wars sometime. If it's something so beloved you can't. And like, everyone just gushes, and I think that genuinely, it's so busy. There's so much going on. It is so 90s. I have never loved the logo. I think that Kachina needs to be stripped of a couple of bumper stickers before it's ever used again. And everyone just has this reverence for it now that it's untouchable. It's the classic. It's the greatest thing ever. And I don't see it.
Okay.
I didn't see it then. I don't see it now.
So we're not off to a good start.
No.
This is not a...
Was this your number 3?
No.
Well, you had the Kachina. You had the Kachina.
Well, number 2, though. Let's do number 2. Because this was not on my list.
Which...
Charlie, it wasn't on my list.
Sorry, Charlie. I don't know how you have a list of 90s jerseys without it. Like, that's really, like, as much as, yes, we overdo it. We have a Buffalo Homer.
Yeah.
But this was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere. And when it came back, it went gangbusters. And again, is that nostalgia? Yes. Yes, it is. But this had such an effect on the entire hockey design world. I don't know how you short sell this. I really don't.
Okay.
And that's really the one that I had this at 4.
Okay. This was not even on my list.
Which is astounding.
My number 2 was the Liberty Head.
Which is a great pick. I would have been more in favor of that being on this list.
Yeah.
But we let Phil decide.
I like Phil. He's not... Oh, he's not listening. I think he's got his headphones in. Which I don't blame him.
We made him work in some of these other episodes. I had the Colorado Avalanche. I think that look is so perfect. It's very it works. They brought it back, and even the new version isn't as good as the original. I think that the mountain stripes is perfection.
This one people are gonna hate.
They're gonna hate us.
They're gonna hate.
They're gonna hate us.
They're gonna hate number 1. And this was number 5 on my list.
But Phil picked it, and even when Phil put the list, he didn't. So which is 1 and which is 3, thinking that this was his number 1. It had to have been. He was going 3, 2, 1. No,
1, 2, 3. I like this.
I like this too.
It's nice.
It is nice.
Having now been to Vancouver and seeing that sunrise, I fully embrace the colors. Like, and what I just assumed was the Pacific Northwest is fully the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. For me, this was on my list because it was such, again, a hard turn from the abrasiveness of what the Vancouver Canucks used to be. And I feel as though their colors have gotten better. Like, to go to that lighter green, that lighter blue, this was a nice middle step for a team that needed a new identity.
Yeah, they really did. Mm-hmm. They needed to get away from the plate of spaghetti, the what is a Canuck, which they have not done a great job of answering in general.
Abbotsford is the best.
Is the best look at it right now.
And then the reverse retro that they did.
And just, like, okay, they're just kind of going to embrace the region, which is fine. I mean, Boston doesn't have a Bruin as their front logo. Like, okay, I get it. Better than this thing. I hate... And then this, I think they had this in the 2000s. So, like ignore... They had it without the patches first.
What was your number 1?
This. Which, like, it might not even be the best Whalers jersey, but, like, how many people are willing to wear bright green in public? And again, you wear this, you get compliment. You know that. Everyone stops you, wants to talk about the Whalers. Finally, containing the logo and having the same logo, home and road, matters. It's a perfect uniform in my mind. You had what?
San Jose. The intro.
Again, that's another one that probably should have been on this list. Like.
There.
We designed by committee, and you can tell.
That right there is the best of the 90s. and to be fair, like, the worst is the easiest.
Oh, the worst was way easy because
we didn't even have to talk. Like, we didn't even have to talk. This, we tried to talk and got nowhere. And be like, you know what, Phil, you do it. And then Phil did it, and John, like, flipped the table, like, threw the thing through the window.
I try to compromise and take one from each that I liked.
Full Victoria Orlando at Versailles. Like, I'm just not having it. You know what? I feel like after this is out, and we've had some comments, and maybe even throw some polls together, I feel like this is an episode we should revisit.
Could.
I think of all the, like, usually we're like, no, we're right. Deal with it.
No, this is not right.
This is not right.
This is not good.
But we've started the conversation.
This is like a top 5 smattering. This is like a top 7 smattering.
I offered to do a top 10. Oh, every decade we'll do a top 10. I think we should revisit this episode. Okay. I think let's let fans talk. Let's take some thoughts, and we'll punt this for down the road.
I also, when I made my decisions, were teams that were, like, completely different from what they were previously. So, like, there's a good jersey, but the logo is just
genuinely new.
All 3 were hard turns.
These are all hard turns, and that was the focus on it.
If we did a thing of hard, like, rebrands, that's a good list for rebrands. To be fair,
the description for this episode was a dumpster fire. So people don't know what we're talking about.
Well, best of the 90s, worst 3.
We could close out and convince everybody that we were looking at this was hard turns in the 90s, and we've nailed it. We've nailed it.
This is the most ugly thirds episode we've had.
Can you put a strike through on the title to where, like, we strike through hard turns and then go to best of 90s? I'll play with it. I'll write some code. I'll do some script.
Comment. He's Shrems. I'm John. Phil. Meh.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, ring the bell to get notifications when we post new videos, and come back for another episode of Ugly Thirds.
What do we even say after that?
What did we just do?
This is a mess.